Welcome to the Dark Domain. I'm your Dark Lord, the Dark One. We're doing a rundown of Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. Movie dos. Alrighty. There is so much in this movie, so I'm going to tell you. For those that haven't watched it, spoilers. So watch at your own leisure. Just going to throw it out there. Let me give you the rundown right now. So we pick up back off from the first one, Miles Morales and Peter Parker, and once they destroyed the first collider. Alright, so now let's get into this one. The main antagonist villain for this movie is the Spot. So because he was there, a whole bunch of stuff breaks down. The spider that bit Miles Morales was from Earth 42. Miles Morales is from Earth, I think, 1604? Something like that. So Miles Morales is from a different... Yeah, I think it's 1604 or 1602. Miles Morales is from there. The spider that bit him came from Earth 42. One of the great things is how the art style changes with every universe that it is, which it should, which is perfect, which it goes into like Doctor Strange's Madness of the Multiverse, is you see the different universes have different things. One cool aspect, I'll say this in the beginning, is when Spot starts to get his powers and he starts to break into the multi-universe. So, he's popping into the Lego world. That was funny. He pops into, which I only caught because I remember the actress that played in Venom in the store, the bodega, the Asian lady. He pops in there, which was freaking hilarious. So, I guess with the help of Sony and the Marvel Studios, they're blending stuff so that it makes sense, especially for this movie, which I thought was awesome. Like then later on, is you see and understand the Spider-Verse, which is different than the other universes. The Spider-Verse in the comic books, the character Madam Web, she breaks it down and explains to you what the Spider-Verse is. So, no matter within just the one universe, but using the multi-universe. So, in each thing, Madam Web breaks down and explains, over the years, there's always been a Spider-Man. So, a lot of the Spider-Man story, character arc, besides what Stan Lee and Jack Kirby created, mostly Stan Lee, resonates in African culture of a godlike creature. Forgot what the full name is, but it's an arachnid. It's in African culture, which is roughly how Spider-Man's all Spider-Man story arc is based off, is that one story, myth or legend in African culture. So, Madam Web, she plays out and knows all the history of every Spider-Man that comes before or then. And what I did like is another thing, which is anyone that is given the powers to be a Spider-Man, or of the folklore from what it is pretty much what Peter Parker's grandfather said. With great power comes great responsibility, so they have to always go through a sacrifice, which you'll see in the movie, that all of them have to deal with a sacrifice in order for them to be who they are, to be the heroes they are meant to be. Using as the second protagonist would be Spider-Man 2099, only because he is a different version, and if you've read the comic books, he's more like a vampire spider. Has certain different unique abilities, but he's like the vampire spider. He's doing good, just he's not like the rest of them in a sense of how he gained his powers. So I liked in this one that they added more Spider-Men. So the first one we got Spider Pig, we got Spider Noir, we got the anime version of Spider-Man. I forgot her name, Amiko or something. Um, I can't remember her name, but the anime version of Spider-Man. You had Peter Parker that we know from the normal Earth, the normal comic books of Peter Parker, with his grandfather dying. So he comes back. I love that there's a couple scenes where you meet Scarlet Spider, which is funny. You meet some spider, like you see some spiders, like you might see Cosmic Spider-Man. He runs in like this small little clip. It's like you'll see certain Spider-Mans of the comics you read. You'll see certain Spider-Man. Some of them you might not know because there's always different versions and whatever. But I mean, the main ones is you saw Scarlet Spider. The other funny one was I don't know if many of you know this, but the 1980 Spider-Man. Because I don't know if it's the animated from Spider-Man and Friends or Super Friends, where like he's moving, but he moves slower because it's like old school. So he's about to hit Miles Morales, and then he goes with a kick, but he's moving such slow motion because of the era that comic book was done. So it was funny. Overall, it's crazy that they're breaking it up. And I was like, once I finished it, I was like, God, I just wanted more. Great story plots. It's good. It's good to have those characters having the main villain as a protagonist and then a second protagonist, which is good, but he's still like a bad guy, but not a bad guy. I loved how like going to different worlds when he went to them, that like the art style changed slightly, or like you see certain things that like show that he's not with his glitching, just like he's in different worlds that like it changes. Gwen Stacy's world is a little bit different, a lot of highlights of colors, so it's a little trippy. I want to feel like some of the art style was from the people that did Space of a Video Game also. Jesus. The art style was almost similar, which reminds me of like how I just love the fluidity of the motion. I loved like it's kind of hard to explain. Like, so for me, of how I think, what they did, it was like they made me see like exactly like if you was Spider-Man, like how you move, like the quickness, the sharpness, the knowing, like, you know, like one reference is like thread the needle, like, so to go through something very tight, like, and you go through it and not touch anything, just move. I loved all of that. The cinematic part of it was awesome. If I have to rate this one on a normal scale, 1 to 10, shit, I'm sorry, I'm gonna fucking say a 10. I do not care. I'm gonna say a 10. This movie was great. I can't wait to have my son watch it so he can understand it. But he has to watch other stuff before he gets up to this point and as he get older. For the Dark Domain scale, it's a 5. Sorry, it's a 5. It's a 5. Great story, great continuation, great like leaving it open ended at the end of the movie. Great throwing in a lot of these alternate Spider-Mans that, like, if you've read comics that you've come across. I love that interaction. I love I love double antagonists. That was crazy. It's because it's double antagonists. You have Spot, then you have Spider-Man 2099 trying to do things right, but he's just set in his ways that he tries to fight Miles Morales. It's filled the story like it's done what it needs to do. That's all I can really say. Like, go watch it. If you're watching this before it, stop at earlier, go back. Like, share, follow. There'll be a little icon over here. You can overlap and follow and subscribe to my link. I'm the Dark One, the Dark Domain. I'm on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram when I post stuff. See you next time. Next one coming up. Fast X. Dark One out.